Every NFL coach, from the completely incompetent to first ballot Hall of Famers, falls somewhere perfectly on one of these 7 levels. This system has stayed true through every generation of football, and even though most don't make it past level 4, those who make it to level 7 are remembered forever. But first, we need to go over level 1. For level 1, these are going to be the coaches who had no business being a head coach. They had absolutely no idea what they were doing, completely in over their head, and so let's start with the worst head coach of all time, Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer with the Jacksonville Jags was a masterclass in how not to transition from college to the NFL. He won 2-11 in just 13 games before getting fired mid-season in 2021. But the record doesn't even tell the full story of this disaster. Meyer's defining moment? Getting caught on video at a bar with a woman who wasn't his wife, grinding on him while he's supposed to be focused on fixing his 0-4 team. But that wasn't even the worst part. Reports came out afterwards that he was verbally abusive to players, calling them losers and creating a toxic environment that had veterans questioning if they even wanted to play football anymore. The man kicked his own kicker, Josh Lambo, during practice. I mean, who does that? Then you have Bobby Petrino with the Atlanta Falcons. He won 3-10 in just 13 games in 2007 before literally abandoning his team mid-season. Not getting fired, abandoning them. He left a 4-sentence resignation letter in players' lockers and disappeared to take the Arkansas job. Josh McDaniels deserves special mention because he somehow failed spectacularly twice. He failed once with Denver and then once with the Raiders. McDaniels' Denver tenure was a clinic in arrogance. He traded away Brandon Marshall, cut Peyton Hillis, and completely destroyed the team chemistry that had made them competitive. His 2010 season was so bad, they went 3-9 in his 12 games with players openly questioning his decisions. But somehow, Las Vegas thought he deserved another shot. But they were wrong. McDaniels proved that some people never learn, going 6-11 in 2022 and starting 3-5 in 2023 before getting the boot again. He's the only coach to lose to Jeff Saturday as well. 2 different franchises, same terrible results. We can't forget about Nat Hackett with the Denver Broncos. He won 4-11 in just 15 games in 2022 before getting fired, and it was clear after the first game he wasn't ready. His defining moment came in that season opener against Seattle when he chose to attempt a 64-yard field goal instead of letting Russell Wilson, the quarterback they traded everything for and gave a long-term extension, to try and get a first down. The kick missed, they lost, and it set the tone for the entire season after that. These coaches all share the same traits. They were completely unprepared for the NFL level, made terrible decisions under pressure, and created toxic environments that made their teams even worse. Level 1 coaches don't just lose games, they destroy franchises, waste talent, and set organizations back for years. They're the reason why some teams become laughingstocks and why good players request trades. So level 2 guys were good coordinators, but just not a very good head coach. They did enough to earn the job at their previous stops. They're not completely incompetent like level 1. But they just weren't good enough at all the things needed to be a good head coach. And so to start, we have Cliff Kingsbury. This guy had an innovative offensive mind that got him noticed. But when it came to being a complete head coach, he just couldn't put it all together. Over 4 seasons, he went 28, 37-1 with just 1 playoff appearance that ended in a first-round bounce. Then you have Dennis Allen, who's actually failed twice as a head coach, but clearly has coordinator-level talent. His first stint with Oakland was brutal. 8-28 over 2.5 seasons before getting fired 4 games into 2014. Allen's second stint with the Saints was a little bit better. He went 18 for 25 over 2.5 seasons, including a respectable 9-8 record in 2023, but he could never get the Saints over the hump. And when they started 2-7 in 2024, he got fired again just after 9 games. And that leaves with Mike McDaniel right now. He represents the modern version of this level. His offensive coordinator work in San Francisco was brilliant, helping design one of the most creative rushing attacks in recent memory. That got him the Miami job, and his first 2 seasons showed promise, 9-8 in 2022 and 11-6 in 2023. But here's the thing about McDaniel. Both playoff appearances ended in first-round losses, and when the pressure mounted in 2024, the wheels completely came off. The Dolphins went 8-9 and missed the playoffs, and currently they're 0-3 in 2025 when I'm recording this video. You have others like Jonathan Gannon and Raheem Morris here too. These level 2 coaches all have the same story. They were excellent in their previous roles, showed enough promise to earn head coaching opportunities, but couldn't make the jump to managing an entire organization. Level 3 are coaches that are actually competent. Not in over their heads or just better versions of coordinators. They can command a locker room and get their teams to wins, maybe even playoff games, but they're not elite or special coaches. Take Ron Rivera, the perfect example for this level. Over 13 seasons split between Carolina and Washington, he won 102 games, lost 103, and tied twice. Literally the definition of average. Todd Bowles fits perfectly here too. His current Tampa Bay stint shows exactly what level 3 looks like. Competent management of a talented roster. Over 3.5 seasons, he's gone 30-24 with the Bucs, including 3 straight playoff appearances. Bill O'Brien represents another classic level 3 guy. His Houston tenure was 52 wins and 48 losses over 6.5 seasons with 4 playoff appearances. The Texans won the AFC South multiple times under O'Brien, which shows he wasn't terrible, but they never felt like legitimate Super Bowl contenders. And Zach Taylor is the current example of this level 3 coaching. His Bengals are 48-53-1 over 6 seasons, but he did take them to the Super Bowl in 2021 and has made the playoffs 3 times. But Taylor's teams are always inconsistent and start off slow. They'll follow up a Super Bowl appearance with a 9-8 season and miss the playoffs, then bounce back with the division title, and then miss the playoffs again. And that's level 3 coaching. Good enough to compete, but not consistent enough to dominate. You also have guys like Kevin O'Connell, Sean McDermott, and Buddy Ryan here as well. They're the coaches who make you think we could do worse, rather than we definitely are winning a championship. That's not a bad thing. Most franchises could be happy with this level of consistent competence, but it's not greatness either. Level 3 is where a lot of NFL coaches plateau, and honestly that's not terrible. These guys can give you a decade of respectable football, and sometimes that's exactly what a franchise needs. Level 4 coaches are above average NFL head coaches. Matt LaFleur exemplifies this level perfectly. LaFleur's teams have been consistently competitive. 3 straight 13-win seasons from 2019 to 2021 shows he can maintain excellence. His offensive system works well with Aaron Rodgers and has adapted to Jordan Love. Doug Peterson represents both the ceiling and the limitations of level 4 as well. A 64-66-1 record over 8 seasons, but the 2017 Super Bowl championship with Nick Foles was special. A championship run showed Peterson could actually coach at the highest level when everything clicked. His Jacksonville tenure was respectable but not spectacular, 22-29 over 3 seasons with 1 playoff appearance and a win. Nick Sirianni is the current example of this level 4 as well. He's 51-20 over 5 seasons with the Eagles, including a Super Bowl championship in 2024 and another appearance in 2022. He has one of the highest winning percentages of all time with just under 72%. Dan Campbell fits here perfectly as well, completely transforming what Detroit used to be into the powerhouse they are now. You have other guys like Mike McCarthy, Bruce Arians, John Gruden, Jim Harbaugh, Barry Switzer, and Mike Holmgren here as well. These level 4 coaches all share the ability to field competitive teams and occasionally reach championship levels. They're clearly above average and can sustain success for multiple seasons. The question is whether they can consistently perform at the elite level rather than just touching it occasionally. Level 5 coaches are really good to great coaches who could potentially make the Hall of Fame. Kyle Shanahan perfectly represents this level. He's 73-62 over 8 seasons with the 49ers, including 2 NFC championships and 2 Super Bowl appearances. The 2019 season was special, going 13-3 and toe-to-toe with the future dynasty in the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. He did it again in 2023, this time taking the game into overtime. He's 0-2 in Super Bowls with late game collapses in both. His teams are consistently competitive, 5 playoff appearances in 8 years, but he needs to get over the hump and actually win a championship in order to be solidified as a Hall of Famer. Sean Payton has a resume for this level as well. He has 171 wins and 107 losses over 18 seasons with sustained success in New Orleans. But Payton's issue is just 1 Super Bowl in all those years of elite offenses. His Saints teams were consistently great, but couldn't get back over the mountaintop. The Minneapolis Miracle, other playoff heartbreaks, all led to just 1 championship. His tenure has been respectable so far, but he needs more championship level success to be a Hall of Fame lock. Same goes with John Harbaugh. He won the Super Bowl in 2012, but since winning the Super Bowl, even before Lamar Jackson and since, it seems like his teams always fall short. Even though he's a really good head coach and they win a lot of games, it seems like in 2019, in 2023, and 2024, they always fall just a little bit flat. Others like George Seifert, Tom Coughlin, Chuck Knox, and Sean McVay are here as well. They're really good coaches who have proven they belong at the NFL level. The question is whether they add enough to their resume to join the coaching immortals. And that's what we have in level 6. Absolute locks for the Hall of Fame if they're not in already. Chuck Noll is the gold standard for this level. 193 wins, 148 losses, and 1 tie over 23 seasons with Pittsburgh, including 4 Super Bowl championships in the 1970s. Noll built the Steel Curtain Steelers from 1-13 disaster in his first season to 4 Super Bowls in 6 years. Jimmy Johnson represents the other side of Hall of Fame coaching as well. He had a short tenure, but it was dominant. Johnson's triplets with Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, and Michael Irvin was absolutely masterful. His ability to build championship culture quickly and sustain it at the highest level was remarkable. The 92 team went 13-3 and dominated the playoffs, going 3-0 with the Super Bowl championship. They won it again in 1993 as well, going back-to-back. Pete Carroll has the longevity and championship pedigree for this level as well. In his Seattle tenure, he won 137 games, 89 losses, and 1 tie over 14 seasons with the Super Bowl championship and another appearance, having one of the most dominant defenses of all time. Mike Tomlin represents the consistency aspect of this level. He's never had a losing season in 18 seasons, which is remarkable in today's NFL. He's 183 wins, 103 losses, and 2 ties, including a Super Bowl championship and another appearance. You have some other all-time greats here too, like Mike Ditka, Joe Gibbs, Bill Parcells, Mike Shanahan, Dick Vermeil, Tony Dungy, Bill Cowher, and Tom Landry. These level 6 coaches didn't just win games, they defined eras and changed how football was played. Noel's Steel Curtain, Johnson's Cowboys Dynasty, and Carroll's Legion of Boom all represents coaching at the absolute highest level before you actually get to the peak. Level 7, the best to ever do it. I think there are 7 coaches here. Bill Belichick, Andy Reid, Don Shula, George Halas, Paul Brown, Bill Walsh, and Vince Lombardi. Bill Belichick set the modern standard for coaching excellence. 296 wins, 155 losses, over 28 seasons with 6 Super Bowl championships as a head coach. What separates Belichick is his complete mastery of every aspect of coaching. Game planning, in-game adjustments, personnel decisions up until the end, and situational football. The Patriot Way became a blueprint that every franchise tried to model, but none could replicate. Andy Reid represents offensive innovation at its finest level. He's won 274 games, 148 losses, and 1 tie over 27 seasons with 3 Super Bowl championships. Reid's transformation of the Chiefs into a dynasty, 3-time champions in 5 years, showcased his ability to maximize talent. His Philadelphia years too, he squeezed everything he could out of the roster and the talent on the team. Don Shula owns the record for most coaching wins with 328, over 33 seasons and 2 Super Bowl championships, including the perfect 17-0 season in 1972. George Halas is literally the father of professional football. He won 318 games over 40 seasons with 5 NFL championships. He's the only coach ever to win a championship in 4 different decades. Paul Brown revolutionized football. 329 wins over 40 years with 7 championships. His innovations, the face mask, playbooks, film study, year-round coaching staffs fundamentally changed how football was played and coached. Bill Walsh created the West Coast offense that revolutionized NFL passing games. He won 92 games over 10 seasons with 3 Super Bowl championships, absolute dominance in the mid-80s. Vince Lombardi is the standard for championship excellence. The trophy is literally named after him. Lombardi's Packers won 5 championships in 7 years, including the first 2 Super Bowls. His leadership, attention to detail, and ability to get maximum performance from his players made him the gold standard for coaching excellence. These 7 coaches didn't just win games, they defined what it meant to be great in the NFL. And so there you have it. When you think about the greatest coaches in NFL history, these 7 names are going to rise above everyone else. They mastered their craft, elevated their players, and left legacies that will endure forever.